What up?
What's up, Killer? What's going on, man?
Man, trying to make it happen, man. What's going on with you?
And first and foremost, gotta say happy birthday to my co-host, man.
Hey,
And man,
hey,
another year older, hopefully another year wiser. Hopefully you had a great day today, brother.
hey, man. That's all we know how to do. Stacking the great days or stacking the good days until you get the great ones.
Absolutely. And second order of business, thanks to each and every one of you that's been rocking with us for what the past, what's it been, 3 years, I think we've been doing this. So thanks to all, the supporters, the views. We really, truly appreciate it.
Look at you leading the daggone
Oh,
episode.
oh,
Boy,
yeah,
hey, you might be
man.
somebody one day. You leading the episode, starting us off good. Hey, man,
Man,
what we
I'm
got on the floor?
I'm feeling good today because I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna come with some heat this episode, with some hatred, but I talked to two people that I highly respect, and I honestly told them I was at peace. So I'm at peace. My heart is at peace. And that's just how I'm coming this episode, man. Nothing but positivity.
Oh, okay. That was it. You left a cliffhanger, but hey, I love that, brother. I hope I was one of those two people. If not, you spoke to three very good people. So I'll just add myself into that.
Absolutely.
So today episode, of course, I think from the very beginning of when we started this 3 years ago, when people were just like, "Yo, what the heck are these two guys about to talk about?" We really didn't have anything to talk about. We just talked for an hour about absolutely nothing, and you guys happened to tune in and thought we gave great insight. So this will be our official recaps of our seasons personally. Um, it's not, anything that's like we said. It's not going to be anything negative. It's mainly just our experience because that's what this show is cultivated on of kind of the things that we experience, the things that we see. Um, and yeah, just kind of end the season off on a good note. So I guess I'll pose the first question since you opened it up. But what was your most memorable moment of this season, brother?
I would have to go back to the Colorado show with Tanisha just honoring me on stage. I think it took a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of guts, but certain people feel some type of way about me within the organization. And for her to stand on her own 2 feet and recognize me for being the inspirational male athlete at her show or whatnot, I mean, that's by far my most memorable moment right there because I shed real tears on that stage. I put a lot of work in with my craft. I put a lot of work in with, just inspiring people. And I try to come into the space and leave it better than I found it. And honestly, I think Classic grew. I think I had something to do with the way Classic is today in the OCB. And just for her to recognize me, man, that was it for me, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one where you shed those thug tears.
There we go. Hey, I had to let the thug tears come out. So now I got to pose the same question to you, man. Obviously, you didn't compete as many times as I did this year, but you got to have that one moment, whether it was with yourself or with one of your clients. What was your most memorable moment for 2025?
But I think for this year, it's funny because the one thing that always reminds you of what you've done over a year is your Google photos. So it's like at the end of the year, it just showed me like starting from March to December, I had people competing. So I was like, Jesus, like I didn't know it was that much. Even dating back to you met one of my clients, Mike, as early as in Wilmington. But I think my most memorable moment, I spoke about it on the podcast, and I kind of rang clear with or stay clear with that one is coaching Nate um, and us both finishing in the overall at the Yorton Cup. I think one of my biggest goals, and I said it loud and clear, is like I always dreamed of having another athlete and myself standing in that top three together. I haven't accomplished that yet, but I know the next year I got some guys who's hungry to make it happen for me. But I think even him, winning his class and then going to the overall and battling it out for the top. I think he got fifth for the fifth spot. So I think that was the most memorable moment just because that was the first time I was actually in the overall one of my athletes.
All right. So let me pose this question for you. What was the least memorable moment that you had this year?
Well, of course, if it's the least memorable, I ain't gonna remember it. Come on, man. But nah, I think I can honestly say I haven't had any bad experiences this year. I think the main thing, the thing I would want to forget is the stress that I put myself through before the two shows I did compete. I think I was more relaxed going into presidential, but I put a lot of stress on myself, just dealing with a lot of things going into the Yorton. So that would be something I would want to forget, just because of the anxiety, the stress that I put myself through. But it all paid off. I think that's the moments that you actually hold on to the longer. Better. So, yeah, that would be the moment I would say.
Okay. Fair enough.
I ain't gonna go there with you, so we're gonna move on to the next question. So, you traveled, you did it, you did it all, man. I think, like you said, you have done a lot of things in this classic space, for people to recognize you, for people to know you not as Jamal, they know you as Carolina Muscle, because it's like when we go to shows, it's Carolina. We should know he not with me, but so I think the question I posed to you now was, what's one interaction that you had this year? The interaction with a person, could have been someone in the crowd, someone who watches the show. What was the most memorable interaction you have had with somebody that you was like, dang, this is why I bodybuild?
I got two. So it was at the Hall of Fame this year. Shout out to Sully. He promotes that show. It was at the Hall of Fame, and I was just sitting in the crowd or whatever, and there was this little kid behind me, and I just happened to turn around and I just started talking to him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was his mom that was sitting next to him, and I was like, "You know, who are y'all here to watch?" And he was like, "I'm here to watch my my auntie or something of that nature or whatnot." And I had just gone off stage. I had my medal, and I just turned around and gave my medal to the kid. And just like the look on his face, like it made his whole freaking day. And that right there, that really touched my heart, because maybe one day that kid will grow up to be a bodybuilder, and hopefully he will remember that moment like, hey, some guy gave me this medal and this is why I started bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? So that moment right there really stuck out to me. And yeah, I think that moment right there. For sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Okay.
Now, hey, come on now. Hey, what you got, dog? Hey, what you got?
Oh man. Most memorable interaction for me. Ooh. All right, if we're being honest, I think the most memorable, and this is gonna be stupid, but the most memorable interaction I've had was actually when me and Derek competed against each other at the presidential.
Right.
Because this bodybuilding space, they are quick to pin people against each other. Like, I met Derek at his very first show in the OCB at Chesapeake, and we never really talked in between that besides when we interviewed him. But everybody was just like, oh, they don't like each other, or they're against each other, or this is, there's beef between them. But the interaction that nobody saw was the interaction backstage before the show even started. I think it was like, we did the whole me and you thing. Like, we was looking at each other from across the room, not speaking to each other. And then I think I walked over there, or we kind of like met in the middle. I was just like, yo, let's go on the show. And literally that was the interaction that I think set the tone for the show, because it was just like, no matter what happens, we're here for fun. Like, there's no beef, there's no ill will, there's no malice. it's almost like that WWE thing. Like people want to be like, oh, it's WWE. Like you got to hate this person to do this. And like, nah, like bro, let's keep it respectful. Let's do the things and let's go out here and have a good time. So I think that would be the interaction that I remember the most, and that was at presidential.
All right. So I think the last couple of years I've known you, you've been through some adversity, stuff that we necessarily don't put out to the general public because it's really none of their business. But what is one thing that you learned about yourself this year, through some of the adversity that you personally been through?
Oh man. This man be trying to get some philosophical questions on. I think the one thing I learned about myself is that, or just in general, is just like one, keeping God first, and second, it's like there's never anything that's too tough for you. Like I think I'm the type of person that will overanalyze a situation and make a situation that much bigger than what it is. But then, like I said, I think over the past years, my faith has grown more and more and more each year. And I think when I realized that, it's like there's a lot of stuff that I won't be able to control. And the one thing about bodybuilding is they always say the cliche, control the controllables, right? So I think from year to year and day to day, I learned like, hey, I'm gonna just control the controllables. Whatever is outside of that grasp, I'm not even worried about it anymore. So I think that I can handle a whole lot more than I think I can. But there's some things that is out of my control that I don't even need to worry about. So I think that what it is just like one, growing in my faith. That's the one thing I learned a lot about myself is just like my belief is way stronger than anything, and that's what keeps me moving forward.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna flip that question because I know I think you had, you dealt with something very public. It was private and then it went public. More so. So what is something you learned about yourself this season?
Well, to put into perspective, because if people follow me or whatever, they know me. But from November to November, I actually done 11 shows. Last November, I done Tampa, and then I think my first show of 2025 might have been in April, if I'm not mistaken. So I done 11 shows within a year. And the one thing that I learned about myself is I may bend, but I'm not going to break. And that's one thing that, I noticed this year, like people will try to break you down. Like they will literally try to break you. And like I said, I bent, but I never broke. I stuck to my plan. And, I still showed up for myself and I showed up for others. So, I mean, I'm durable, and I would say I'm very reliable, and one thing that I did learn about myself is I have to give myself grace. You know what I'm saying? I'm often hard on myself. I'm a go-getter, man. Like I'm just like my brain don't turn off sometimes, man. I'm just that focused. So this year I learned to give myself grace.
Okay. So I think we had some segments. I like that answer a lot. I think we have some segments, but we're gonna start name drop. This is the name drop segment. We're gonna drop some names here, boy. You ready? Who was your favorite guest this year? Let's talk about it.
Oh man, we had a few. I don't want to say I have a favorite. I actually like each and every one that came on to our show because we personally invited them on, right? So that means we got to have some kind of connection with them. Man, dude, we had so many freaking people on.
You gotta remember all the way back to February, bro.
And I'm trying, and I can't, man. I can't. So I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna say if you stepped on this podcast, I truly appreciate you. We truly appreciate you. So thanks for stepping on our podcast.
All right. Since you want to be PC, here we go. Since you want to be correct, here we go. So let's dig a little deeper. What was your favorite? Because we had a bunch of reels go out this year for Let's Talk About It. What was your favorite one? Because I got a favorite one because it was just hilarious.
My
What was your
favorite
favorite?
reel.
It wasn't. We ain't gonna say clickbait, but what was that one reel or that one thing that was said on the podcast that just had you roll? Besides your comment last week, we're not gonna go there.
I'm not gonna go there. Man, I honestly think the podcast when we had y'all men's physique guys up there, I just think that was genuine. I think people thought it was going to be a whole bunch of going back and forth or whatnot. So I would say that was probably one of my favorite moments.
Okay.
What you got?
Yeah, I like that moment. I like that. That was a good moment. I like the vibration pad.
That that was. She said, "Oh, you're thinking about something different, aren't you?" Nah, you was thinking about something different.
A good old vibration pad. Like I said, I actually got one of those. So
Nah, that's crazy.
I actually got one.
That's crazy. All right, so let me pose this question to you. You traveled a lot this year, whether you was in the show or not in the show. What show stood out to you, and why?
Okay. I think there's some shows that actually just have a name, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna try to steer away from those. Oh man, I'm trying to think of all the people who competed, and I can't be biased because I was biased last week, so I can't say that show either. So I think the ones with names, of course, that I went to was like the Presidential Yorton Cup, Queen City Showdown. Of course, those kind of carry their own weight for me. In respect to those, I think the show that surprised me the most, and I think it was just because the totality of the experience, was the Tampa Fit Fest. I went down there with my athlete Lee Gooden, and I think it was the overall factor of it being it was a huge expo, so it gave you an Arnold type vibe. And I feel like that show will be a show that will continue to grow, just because of what all is included in that show if they continue to do it. Because, like I said, you can get off stage and go watch CrossFit, get off stage and go watch powerlifting. Then they got vendors and everything. You get free David bars, built bars, things like that in the crowd. So I think that was be the show that kind of surprised me the most, with overall venue and expo attached to it.
Okay.
Now you've been to 10 shows, 12, 11, however many. So which one stood out? That I'll rephrase your question. Which show out of the 10 or the 11 that you did would you be like, if you haven't done this show, you need to go do
it? For me, I would say is No Gear, man. No Gear is early in the season, and I think me and you had talked about this. For No Gear to be early in the season, it gets a lot of competitors, and it get great quality competitors. I think if No Gear happened to be later in the season, some of these other pro shows wouldn't be as big as they are. And that's just my personal take on it, because No Gear bring in a lot of people, and it's a great quality show. And I just like the castle they got, man. Just walk. I don't know. It's just like just walking through the castle and going on stage, man. It's like you're making a grand appearance. So I would say No Gear. I would have to say Hall of Fame too. That was in Massachusetts. That was my first time ever going out there. Sully has a great thing going on with that show too. Dude, I can go on. Arizona, the Scorcher.
Yeah.
If you've never been to Arizona and you want to go to a good show, go to the Scorcher. Man, like I really enjoyed all the shows that I've done this year. And like I said, the whole reason why I've done so many shows is because I wanted to support good promoters. So that's the reason why I did so many shows. And of course, I had like 2 or 3 on the back end that wasn't really planned. I just jumped in them because mentally, that's what I felt like doing to keep my mind off other things. But yeah, each show I've done this year, I genuinely enjoyed doing it. So
Okay. Yeah, so No Gear, yeah, nah, No Gear, I think is one of those shows. I think, and it's funny because I think over the years we have talked about a lot of these shows, and I think No Gear is one of those shows where it is the place to pop out at early, if
Right.
you do, because that usually is a warm up to. I ain't gonna say warm up. We don't call shows warm up. That is usually a precursor to the Florida Pro. And then going from the Florida Pro, you got Arizona right after that. So if you step out at No Gear, you kind of set yourself up for a 3 to 4 show run if you want. And then of course there's pro shows earlier than that, but I just haven't went to them or I haven't. I seen the Double Down, but I was watching the live stream for that. So, but I didn't go there.
Okay. So let me pose this question to you. And when I say this, trust me, we're not trying to down any show, so don't take it like that. So what's one show you think needs more exposure because it's actually a good show? It just don't get the exposure like some of these other shows.
Um, if I'm speaking from experience from this year, a show that I don't want to say, like I know I said I phrased it a certain way earlier in the year, and I was like I was pleasantly surprised, which was the wrong way to say that. But a show that I think, or I wish I remember the promoter's name, but the show that I think needs more recognition and more people will show up to, but the show is already decent size, to be fair, is that Columbus show. Like that was the first time I went to Ohio, and I went to the Columbus show. It was actually held at, I think it was held at Ohio State in their theater. Well put show, well good production. Everything was good about the show. And like I said, a lot of people showed up for that show. So I don't think enough people are talking about that show. But that is definitely a really great show. Like I said, I don't live close to there. If I have another athlete who want to go there, I would definitely go back. But I think that's a show that needs more recognition. I'm pretty sure he gets it, but I would say that's one of those shows that need to be amplified a little bit louder.
Right. And I think with OCB having so many shows, I think that's the hard thing, right? Because some shows are going to get pushed to the bottom that are actually, good shows, and you got good promoters out there that don't get the exposure like some of these other promoters. So that's good that you put that show on the map for sure. So Columbus show in Ohio, y'all go check that out.
Oh yeah, I got one more too. Marble City in Tennessee. That
Okay.
show as well. That was at the beginning of the year. Me and Malo rode up there and judged the show, so that was a really good show. That's actually promoted by Nate and Kobe.
Okay.
Really good show up in Tennessee. So those two shows, if they're not on your radar, if you live in the Tennessee area or the Columbus area, I would definitely check those two out. Really good promoters. So I'll definitely check those out.
All right, so I got two myself. So I might have three. So I have the Hilton Head, which that's near and dear to my heart. I've been a part of that show since it came to Hilton Head. Great show. I just wish it got more exposure because it's a good show and it's early in the year. I just think it needs that exposure like some of these other shows get. And then I would have to say the Gains and Glory.
Yeah.
Another good promoter, Amy. She's a great person, man, solid person. And I just wish that show got more exposure also because she's a great promoter and she works her ass off to put on that show. So yeah, those are my two shows that I would say go try them, go do them. It'll be worth it.
Well, you said I got three, and then you list two. What's going on with you, brother? You all right? You awake? We good?
No, I am. So I was going to say, I had one more, but then I was like, yeah. So
Jesus. So we also have a few people in the chat. So if you guys have any questions from this year, or if you have a top five, I think Jamal said he plotted the top five. But if y'all have a top five, drop the top five because I think I won last week, but we need a top five. So drop it in the comments if you are still watching. So are we going to our top five, or do you have another question?
I mean,
this is the grand finale.
Overall, I mean, I think we had a great year. We both placed second at Yorton. You know what I'm saying? We both won it before. What's the chances of both getting second? You know, so.
I
But yeah,
tell you,
man,
put some twos
overall,
up.
it was a great year. I love every interaction that I had with everybody this year. Well, I'm not gonna say every interaction, but for the people that's solid, for the people that supported me or whatever, man, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Even with me going through this rough patch that I'm going through, I still got solid people, you know, that'll reach out to me and check on me, and trust me, that means so much to me. So thank you guys. You know who you are. I'm not going to sit here and name drop you guys, but thank you for real.
Yeah, and I kind of just go give an overall message too. Like I think this year was the year of like coming back after a. I think one thing we'll talk about next year, and I think we talked about it with Jessica. We talked about it with I forgot who else we talked about it with. But coming back after a year off and locking back in mentally is always a challenge. Because I think as bodybuilders we're so used to grind, 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 and when you never cut that off, it's always easy to stay in that mode. But I think when I was able to cut that completely off, um, it changed the process of me coming back. So I think this year, just speaking very openly and transparent, it was more challenging this year to accomplish the things. I mean, I placed second at the Presidential, placed second at the Yorton. And I think, I mean, those aren't two small feats. I think both of those are really good shows. Um, I even think even this year with the 20-year university of the Yorton, like I wanted to make a whole reel about the Yorton back in September, but I didn't get around to it. But it was just like the signing of the yearbooks. Like I think the yearbooks was a great touch. I think um, a lot of the bells and whistles that a lot of promoters have stepped their games up each and every year, especially at the shows that I competed in, and even the shows I went to, seeing how all these promoters are gradually upping their game, and keeping the next promoters on their toes. I love it. And when we started this 3 years ago, it was just like we don't know what natural bodybuilding is going to be or where it's going to go. But I think over the last 3 years, we've seen an amazing amount of growth. I know a lot of people hated my comment last week about natural bodybuilding is natural bodybuilding, but
It
hey,
was going in on your ass, boy.
hey, well, just go over there then. All right, I will. Nah, but I think it's mainly like I said. I love the sport of natural bodybuilding, and that's why we started this podcast. That's what brought us together to do this podcast, and it's also why we have you guys to talk to week in and week out. So we really appreciate everybody that's watching and also that's been on this journey with us. But what is your top five, sir?
And my top five today. Top five. All right. We're going to name 5 people that competed this year that needs the recognition. Like they went on a historic run, either they went through some shit and still came to play ball, like whatever. Just your top 5 athletes of 2025. All right.
Any pros, anybody?
It could be anybody. Top 5. And I'm gonna go first because I feel like this woman right here does not get the recognition that she deserves. I have not seen a resume like this.
Okay.
And she's still young and she got a lot more to give. Natalie, Mr. America, Natural Olympia, WNBF. She did Yorton this year, but she won all them championship shows, bro. And she got some of them twice.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
That is freaking unheard of. So shout out to Natalie. I actually talked to her at Mr. America. Chill ass, cool ass woman, man. But shout out to you. You are doing something historic. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah, and I think she finished at the. She actually went to the nationals, the big nationals, instead of going. Well, absolutely phenomenal athlete. I knew you were going to say that because we talked about that earlier in the week. You cheated. All right. So of course, I'm gonna go with the home team first. I'm gonna go with the home team, Nathan Parker. I spoke about him enough on this podcast this year. But for him to, I think he joined the team late June, and I think he went on a tear, like stepping up, winning Florida Pro. Then he went on maybe a 4 to 5 streak, Of course, placed top 6 at the Yorton, and then I think top 5 at the Mr. America, and then finishing his year off with that win at Tampa. So just doing a bunch of different places, winning in different organizations. So of course, the home team, I got to shout him out first.
All right. I think my second one would have to go to Jessica Powell. You know, everybody know about her father, Will, passed away earlier this year. She got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Really nothing to prove, right? You cemented, you're there, nothing to prove. But she still had the guts to step on a Yorton Cup stage when she had 100 reasons not to, but she did, and she ended up winning her third Yorton Cup. So shout out to her. Yeah.
Okay. See, you had all day to think about this. This is crazy. All right. I think my second one have to be. I think you're gonna steal my third answer if I say this one. So I'm trying to be very strategic, but I got to go with Mr. Mr. Five-time Yorton Cup champion, Magnum McCray. I think he gets a lot of recognition already, but I think as a natural bodybuilding community, he is still unknown to everyone, especially with the accomplishments that he had done over the past 5 years. So definitely shouting out Magnum McCray.
All right. My third one, it would have to be. I'm gonna go with Eli, man.
Okay.
I think Eli here in the upcoming years, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Personally, I would love to see him in bodybuilding, but that's not my place to tell him where to go. But I would love to see Eli because, man, he's short. He got that freaking dense, thick ass muscle, man, and he trains hard as hell. But Eli popped out this year at the Yorton and got third, and that's no easy task at all. So I have to give a major shout out to him. Yeah, man, he's definitely a workhorse, and I believe he has a Yorton Cup in his future if he keeps going at it, if that's the route he wants to go.
Okay. All right. So you didn't take my third answer, so I will go with another Mr. Five-time, Dr. J.
Okay.
Got to shout out Jay, of course, getting 5 Mr. Americas. Once again, it's no small feat. Like we talk about, repeating in certain places and doing things, but for you to get 5 championships, and then I think he went off to win the IFBB Saudi show.
No, quick. False information out there now. He got first in his class.
Okay, my bad. I just saw first. But nah, even though he's still going overseas and getting first and still competing against everything that's overseas, that's still a major feat. But once again, 5-time Mr. America is no small feat at all.
Okay, this is my fourth.
Yeah,
I mean, I gotta go with Jillian. She's a friend of the show. She's from North Carolina, winning the Yorton Cup back to back in bikini is unheard of. She's the first person to do it. So I mean, I don't think anybody else will do that anytime soon. So hey, shout out to her, man. So Jillian's my fourth.
yeah, I gotta show the ladies some love. Jesus. Oh. Ooh. All right. So number 4 will be Kristen Brett. Friend of the show. He was on the show, winning a Yorton Cup this year, and then going off to other organizations and doing well, placing there as well. So Kristen is my number 4.
Okay. And my fifth, I'm gonna step outside of the organization, and I'm gonna go with Jeffrey, aka Hurricane. They call him Hurricane on Instagram. He's a natural NPC guy. He went on a good run this year. Actually had a chance to chop it up with him at Mr. America. He came backstage and we had a chance to talk. He just won an NPC show a couple weeks ago as a natural. So he is a natural IFBB pro or whatnot. So great physique. He got second at Ben Weeder for the pro division for classic. So that would have to be my fifth.
Okay. And I think I'm gonna round off my number 5. Of course, I got to go back to the home team or just the home division and give it to Core Killer, the first 2-time men's physique Yorton Cup champion. I think he went on a tear after that one Masters Nationals. I think he actually put on his resume that he was like undefeated in Master shows. Like he done like a bunch. So I think he got like 15. I hope I don't butcher that. I think he got like over 15 Masters Pro wins. So major shout out to Core Killer, especially with the year he had this year from retirement to winning the Yorton, which we should have left him alone, but we didn't. So he came back and whooped up on us. But major congrats to Core Killer.
Absolutely. And listen, if we did not mention you, don't take it personal. Those were just, top 5 that I thought had a good season. And of course, I got some honorable mentions. Even one of my classic clients, Javier, man. Javier went on a run this year too. Every show, literally, we placed second, and we was this close to getting the pro card, and it didn't happen this year. But each time he just wanted to go, he was just so hungry, man. So shout out to him. Next year is going to be something special for him. I already know it. I mean, I don't care what stage we got to step on. We're getting a pro card next year for sure. And then I want to shout out my bikini client too, Annika. She stepped on the Yorton stage this year. It looked incredible. As of right now, she's taking the year off next year, but I know she's going to come back and do some damage too. So, yeah, man.
Okay. But we want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure, because y'all ain't gonna be hearing this from us a lot, but we're gonna be posting it now. Use that code eShell10 or Carolina Muscle at that Chula wear. Make sure you grab your shorts for next year, grab your robes, whatever you need. I don't know what he's reaching for, probably some draws. But
oh, hold on. Hey, look, I got some new merch. We're goated out here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Goat. All right. So hit me up. This is the new merch. We got the Carolina Muscle on it. Everybody can be a goat, baby. Everybody can be a goat. That's what we should aspire to be. Goats.
I'm a lamb. But but yeah, make sure you guys use that code for Chula wear. Pick up your merch from Jamal. But this was a heck of a year. So once again, thank you for rocking with us all year long. And yeah, man, I can't wait to start this back up. Next year, we'll be starting with the promotion series or promoter series and coach series. So if you're a promoter, if you know good coaches, let us know. If you got a good coach, let us know. Maybe we don't know about your coach. We'd love to bring them on, have a good conversation with them, and make sure we can share not only other people's businesses, but growing natural bodybuilding as a whole.
And we don't want no coach that just won their freaking pro card and talking about, we don't want you. So just go ahead and put that out there.
Nah, we do want them, man. We want them to.
You're going to be doing the episode by yourself.
But once again, y'all, thanks for joining in. But until next time or next year, we'll see
next
y'all.
year.
Peace. I could get to this exit, but we still talking.
Dang, bro. What if we got something bad to say about something? You can't even exit it out.